Hello everyone, welcome to Optimal Timelines. I am your guide, Sean Collins, and helping you to connect to your most optimal future timeline. So it's that time again. It's going to be your monthly tarot readings for the month of May 2021. And as always, it's going to be for your North Node by sign and house. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what your North Node is, in the description box below, there's going to be a couple of videos that explain it. But the reason, as my regular viewers know, the reason I use your North Node by sign and house as opposed to your sun, moon, or ascendant is because I find that the readings are much more accurate and much more relevant. So people that share the same North Nodes by sign and house have much more in common with each other than people that share the same sun sign, for example, or moon or ascendant. So as I said, you can check the description box below if you have any questions about your North Node. And let's get started. This is going to be your monthly tarot reading for everybody with their North Node in Taurus and or the second house. So I'm going to connect to the energies and then we can begin. I call upon my spirit guides and guardians and the wisdom of my ancestors to bring forth the information that's true and correct for all who see this reading, that it may bring them the most beautiful, happy life possible and set them on their most optimal future timeline. So may it be. Okay. Okay, so the spread over on this side of the table is for the first half of the month from the 1st to the 15th, and then the spread over here represents the 16th of the month to the end. So some big themes coming up for you this month. One of the things that is coming up big time is there's a balancing of energies that is taking place within you, as well as getting into things and focusing in on things that you value in life, okay? So these two themes, getting on, okay, with what I'm talking about with the value thing is that exploring what good things that you have in your life, like to taking an assessment of like, what are your positives as a person? What do you value in yourself? What do you value in those around you? What good things do you have in your life? Okay, so that is going to be like a big focus. And the balancing part is there's a balancing right now going on between your mind and your emotions. And I feel like a lot of you have been and will experience this like freedom of like opening up or being kind of let out of bondage or like a cage you were in. And it's because like it's this balancing that has been going on. You know, maybe you've found in the past that, you know, your emotions have not always guided you in a good direction in your life. Or it could be the opposite. Maybe, you know, the way you think has affected your emotions and, you know, not sent you down like a good road. But I feel like there's going to be this like opening up of this, you're finally starting to see this balance of, mental and like emotional energies, and coming into, more of a sense of being grounded in who you are. See, one of the things is that you have a tremendous superpower, and that superpower is the ability to energetically connect with people. Okay? And there are other north and south nodes that have to deal with connecting with people, like, for example, the first house and the seventh house, or Aries and Libra. Okay? But the Scorpio South node that you have with Taurus, okay, so the Taurus Scorpio axis, the gift of Scorpio is the being able to energetically work with people. Now, that's a superpower, but it also can be a detriment, because we can see there sometimes where, it's an unwillingness to release your energy from other people's energy, because there's a time and a place. But that is a huge superpower. But what you're finding is that you're finding that you're not looking at your emotional energy or who you are as a person anymore in relation to other people, other relationships in your life, jobs, family members, romantic relationships, but you're looking at what is your relationship to you. And I know that breaks up in duality, but there is a duality within us. Even though we're one consciousness, we do have a relationship with ourselves. And it sounds funny, but we do, because we do have this, outer ego consciousness that is, and duality is not a bad thing necessarily, because like you're not going to get rid of it. You know what I mean? Like, of course we want to be, but we want to make friends with ourselves. Now, the reason that's not a contradiction is, like, let's go, if any of you have ever read like Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, he talks about, truly at the quantum level, everything is one energy. Okay? The past, the present, the future, all of it, everything that in the cosmos is one. That is true. However, Eckhart Tolle talks about life. He talks about, like making friends with life. Are you making a life a friend or an enemy? Well, right there, he's speaking in a duality. Like, you're separate from life. We're really not. But on the practical level, there is a practical way of, you, me, us, them, this, that. I mean, in a practical sense, like, that's how we work in the world. Our life, their life, okay. And so that's why, we can make friends with ourselves. And really, that's how you begin to value who you are as a person. Is you're not looking for somebody else to tell you your value. You're not looking for someone else to tell you who you are. You are making friends with your inner self. Your outer consciousness, your outer ego consciousness is uniting and making friends. And see, that's your superpower. Your superpower is the ability to bond energies. But a lot of you have not tried to bond with yourself, to connect with yourself. And when you do that, you find out what it is you value in yourself, and you make friends not only with life, you make friends with yourself. And you don't look to always, getting everything you need out of life from others, but you're able to get it from yourself. That's what this lifetime is. Taurus is going out and forging a path for you. And it doesn't mean you can't be closely connected energetically with others in your life. again, that's your superpower, okay? But if you rely on that, then everything in your life is dependent on others as opposed to yourself, okay? Now, so this balancing is going on, and again, it's going to continue on the second half of the month, this balancing. And the way that this is going to play out is, I feel like for some of you who are able to pass this test and you're able to do that work of connecting to yourself without the help of anyone else, connect to your energy, connect to who you are. If you can do that, I feel like there's going to be a lot of steps forward and like planning for the future. But I am seeing an energy of some of you are struggling with that, okay? And what it's doing is it's keeping you limited, because when you are able to, the reason you limit yourself is because when you are dependent on others for whatever, when you're dependent on others for their emotional support, when you're depending on others for physical support, for any sort of, you're dependent on others as opposed to being independent, Taurus, okay? When you're dependent on others, then you are limiting yourself, okay? And the more you do that, the more you will feel limited, because what ends up happening, it's almost like a kind of like a vampire type energy, whereas the more you are dependent on others, the more you need others, you're going to need more and more and more to fill yourself up. And so that's why it's really important to kind of stop that cycle and, do that work of, connecting your energy to who you are as a person, inner and outer. Make that connection, and you start to be able to feed yourself. And when you feed yourself, you become independent, and you can still have you're not losing a connection with others. You're actually, just think of it this way, you're not losing a connection with others, you're gaining a connection with the most important person in your life, which is you. And that's not a selfish thing. The most important people in our lives are ourselves. Why is that? It's not that we're doing it in a selfish way. It's that all of our life is lived in this heart, in this mind, between these ears. This is all we have. This is how we experience life. This is how we process life. This is how you live life. It's funny. I'm going to use I think it was the actor Anthony Tucci, I want to say, in The Devil Wears Prada. I hope I got his name right. But he said in that movie, one of the characters was making fun of the fashion world, and and how frivolous it was. And he made this point. He says, he said, this isn't frivolous. You live your life in these clothes. This is how you live your life. You go to sleep with fashion. You wake up. You work. You live in these clothes, and so they are an important part of your life. And I always thought, like, okay, that's interesting, because that's like, our clothes are like, ourselves, our soul, our energetic body, our physical body. This is where we live our life. Everything is experienced through this. So that's why we are the most important person in our life. And it's important for, you North nodes in Taurus and or the 8th house or 2nd house, to learn that, to value yourself. And when you do that, not only do you become independent and have a freer, happier life, but you find out that, your relationships actually get better because you're able to not be as emotionally like needy. You're able to give more, and you just see like your life opens up a lot more. So anyway, I hope this reading resonated with you and that you found value in it. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing, sharing your time with me, and helping me grow the channel. Much appreciation. If you'd like a personal reading, there's going to be a link in the description box below. And make sure to comment. If you have any questions, reach out and say hi. Love to hear from you. Thank you again so much, and many blessings. Talk to you soon.